All right, yes, we do. Well, good morning, everyone. An official welcome to our second Friday Tech Focus of 2024. Thankfully, I am indoors and not having to be out in the snow. If you had to brave snow this morning, I salute you. Anytime it's snowing on March 22 is a good day to stay inside, as far as I'm concerned. But maybe I can learn from our Friday Tech Focus today how to get in the habit of being less grouchy about winter weather. Is that something that Habitica can teach me, Eunice? What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it does allow for both good and bad habits. So,
All right, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you so much.
okay, so we're back with Habitica this morning, which is a game to help you improve real life habits. It gamifies your life by turning all your tasks into little monsters you have to conquer, which is maybe the way we think of them sometimes. The better you are at this, the more progress in the game. If you slip it up in life, like complaining about the weather, then your character starts backsliding in the game as well. As usual for Friday Tech Focus, it's free and it's pretty easy to create an account. It is also available for groups. So if you're managing a small team or you're trying to organize your household chores, you could create a group. Group plans grant you exclusive access to a private task board and chat area dedicated to you and your group members. These are not free, so I didn't look at them. They are $9 per month plus $3 per member. So consider that. Once you've created your account, you'll see something that looks a lot like a Kanban board. That's where the tracking happens. There are columns for habits, dailies, to-dos, and rewards. Habitica is nothing without real world goals, so enter a few tasks. You can add more later as you think of things. All tasks can be added, amazingly enough, by clicking on the Add Task button. So it's pretty straightforward. If you need inspiration of tasks or things to add, there's a wiki that's got sample ideas for you. I never really need help thinking of tasks to add to something, but in case you do, there's help. And just like real life habits, habits in Habitica can be good, bad, or both. Good habits are denoted by a plus sign and are rewarded with experience, gold, and mana. Bad habits, denoted by a minus sign, are penalized with a loss of health or mana. The player's mana value cannot decrease below 0, so you're never going to really bottom out. Habits that are both positive and negative can be used for goals on which players can make progress and reward themselves, or you can fall back to fail to make progress and fall back and penalize yourself. As you set it up, you get to decide whether this habit that you're doing is a good one, a bad one, or a behavior that has the potential for both progress and giving in to temptation. The only thing I could think of with that was maybe, okay, reading for a while every day is a good habit, but propping yourself up and reading for 5 hours when you should be doing other things could be a bad habit. Hard for me to imagine that, but maybe. So by default, a habit is both good and bad. To make it just a good habit, you click on the minus sign on the setup, and that disables the negative option. To make it just a bad habit, you click on the plus sign to disable the positive option. So in general, then you toggle between those options to click either button on the web page or in the app to indicate what you want to do. So then you enter activities you need to do daily on or on a particular day of the week or year in the dailies column. You click a task to edit it when it will be due and or set a start date. You can also make it due on a regular repeating basis, for example, every 3 days. I set up my plant watering for an example of this, which is something I do once a week. The to-dos are tasks that you do once or rarely, like a special thing, and you can actually add checklist subtasks to this. So my example with this was setting up this presentation, which is a one-time thing, and I could list the parts of the process on there as individual subtasks. So then what do you do with these positive things you've earned? You spend them on rewards. You can set these up for yourself, or you can just use the things within the game. I did not set up any rewards. Maybe I should have looked at examples of that, but I couldn't really think of anything I wanted to reward myself with beyond the being able to check things off that they're done. So, but what would you like to treat yourself to make the effort of doing something not as fun worthwhile? Set up whatever you do. Before we go on, I wanted to cover the menu buttons in the upper right. So the notifications thing there are notifications from the system. If you click on the person for a drop down, you can access messages there that might be waiting for you. You can edit your avatar, change backgrounds, edit your profile, view stats, achievements, change your subscription level, or just log out. The messages on this menu aren't from the system. They'd be direct messages from other users. Since I didn't use this as part of a team, I don't have any examples to show on this. Okay, now the more fun stuff. You can personalize your avatar. There's not a lot you can do, but there are some things. And then more choices become available as you use it longer and you're rewarded stuff that you've earned for doing the stuff you wanted to do, and then you can personalize it with it. Backgrounds here are actually part of your avatar. Some are free, others are going to cost you. And then along with the basic backgrounds, it appears that special ones are released on a regular basis. This also happens with things like hats and tools. There's not a lot here under profile, and I didn't fill a lot in. I'd probably be more inclined to do this if I were doing it as part of a group, but it didn't seem worth the time to put a description of myself for just me. So you pick up equipment as you accomplish tasks that you've set for yourself. Other things you can buy under rewards or in the shops. Yes, you can shop for this. Some of this is just for show. So more things to customize your avatar with, for example. Other pieces can give you more power, strength, perception, etc. The question mark icons you see here are achievements that are available to me that I haven't earned yet. You can hover over any of them to just see a description of it. As examples, there's one for a 21-day streak and another for having a perfect day, in which I completed all my active dailies on a single day. Some are basic, others are seasonal, and a couple are special. I haven't run across any of the special ones yet, so I can't really explain that much more. But they're mostly just things to influence you to get your stuff done. Now, under the general settings, you do things here like changing your username or your email address. Again, there's not a lot there. So then there are challenges. They are community events in which players compete and earn prizes by completing a group of related tasks. They can be site-wide or exclusive to a party. I selected a reading challenge. You had to start with something easy, right? So I did this reading challenge for a while. And then at the end of it, one of the nice things is it tells you when that challenge is over, and it helps you clear it out. It also tells you who won. It was not me, but that's the way it goes. But it's nice in that because I could see it being really easy if you signed up for a lot of things and then you get your regular tasks and then you've got a board that's covered with a lot of things and you could let it get so busy that it's not being very helpful. Okay, items. This is where things really started to lose me. There's all this stuff that you can accumulate as you're trying to get things done. Equipment, that's part of your inventory, and it contains all the armor and weapons that you have purchased or earned. Each player starts out as a limited warrior, so that only warrior equipment will be available to purchase until the player reaches at least level 10 and the class system is unlocked. I haven't imagined to acquire much equipment yet, just this bardic cap and some matching bardic robes, which doesn't really seem very warrior-like to me, but then this is probably not something I'm real good at. So I've been using this pretty much every day, at least checking in once for about 3 weeks now to prepare for today. And this morning I just made it to level 8 to give you an idea of how long it takes to progress through their system. You can choose to hatch pets from eggs and potions. You combine the two and then it hatches. They come from random drops or as rewards for having completed tasks or challenges. Pets don't require food, but they can be fed so that they grow and become mounts. Both pets and mounts are purely for fun. There's no added bonuses for keeping things alive or keeping them growing or anything like that. And this is a shot of the mobile app, and you see it looks a lot like the website. You just scroll sideways to see all the various columns. This in particular is a view from an Android phone. There's a fair amount of help available in either using this on the website or in the app. The overview for new users was really a pretty good way to get started. And then there's a wiki that seems to be a very active wiki community. It's searchable and it has a lot of information there, including, as I mentioned earlier, some samples of things to use for inspiration if you get stuck for something when you're setting it up. All in all, it's pretty interesting, but I don't think it would really work for me. I just don't find all that stuff very motivating. Maybe even a little bewildering at times. But if you know somebody who's into these kind of games, this could be great. And maybe you'd even consider this as a program for the summer theme of read, renew, repeat for that particular audience. It's all about self-care and repeating things, right? So it might be a perfect tool for somebody to be able to track their things and help them get through the stuff they need to get through. So any questions?
I like there's a little side chat going on about the graphics, and yeah, I'd have
I
to.
noticed that.
I'm not like super nerd, but like they kind of do have like some early Zelda kind of feel to
Yes,
them, or
yes.
like someone says the game Earthbound, which I don't know, but
I'm
like
not familiar with that one, but yeah,
no.
I
But I
I think
think this
so.
would be so fun for a group of teens, potentially.
Or, overgrown gamers like, I've
Yeah.
got a nephew who this would probably work really well for because who's, well over 30 now, but he's still into the games and having that sort of challenge of getting more stuff would probably work for him. And it was just, I'm looking, it's like you check things off and then you've got all these things popping up. Oh, you just earned this, you did this, you did this. And I'm going, so what?
Oh,
Again,
I
this
earned
would
a
not work
digital
for me.
sword. I can now
So,
what? I don't know, slay a digital dragon. Yeah, it's not my style. Although I'm sitting here thinking through that like well, I just heard that Janet Yellen does this too, so I feel like I'm in decent company and can admit this on a recording, but I'm a little bit into the game Candy Crush.
okay.
And um and so like you earn virtual money to buy virtual supports in the game. And so like I'm sitting over here being like, "Oh, teens would love this." But like I just realized like I do it too in that game that I
Well,
play. But yes, if you are trying to build a habit, maybe uh might be fun to it's a fun thing to try. And here we've got someone in the chat saying they joined so they could get some
cool.
habits under control and they're on track. So that's fun.
Great.
I
I
like
love
that.
that.
So
I
there's one
mean,
testimonial
yeah, no,
that this
it's
works
great. I
well.
mean, most of the things I do for Friday Tech Focus, I maybe don't continue them, but I keep that account active because I might come back to it. This is the first one in a while that I felt like I'm probably just going to close the account out once I'm finished because it's just, I've got things where I can check off my to-dos, and I don't need another one. And the little floaty things just don't do anything for me. But anyway, that's great that somebody's using it.
Do you, I think you mentioned that like the group side of things is not part of the free package.
Right. Now, I don't know. I did not. I wish I'd have known Carolyn had created an account. We might have tested things out to see if you could still, you know, tag a friend type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know that it has to be this formal group thing. I mean, that gives you the extra space and all of that, but I think there would be some other ways to access this a little less formally. And I just didn't have anybody to test with. I mean, I've been known to set up 2 accounts and test between 2 computers, but I did not do that for this. So
I was just thinking like you could complete a group quest or something, like your team works together to defeat whatever habit or gain whatever habit, and then
I think so,
yeah,
yes.
that would be kind of a fun thing to play with. Could be
Mm-hmm.
fun, like yeah, Carolyn says
Okay,
she
so
joined the
Carolyn joined a
party.
party. That's what
Yeah.
I thought you could do. So yeah, that's still within the free part. I just didn't really test it out. So it's good to know that somebody else has done that.
And someone else says, you think it would work for family chores? Yeah,
I
definitely.
think so. Yes, and you just, have your party set there for that. I mean, yes, you could do the group thing and create, because then you've got a private board area set up and the private communication between people,
I'm thinking it could
if
be
you pay
fun
for it. But
if you had the right staff, you would need staff who would be interested. I think it could be fun
yes.
for like a work project. Like here, we're going to weed the juvenile nonfiction, and these are all the things that we must do. We must do these things
Hmm.
daily, and we work together, and we've got
And
to
you've got a
clean
little
movie
internal
fiction. And
competition, which, oh, wait, how many eggs did you get from this?
yeah, that could be
Oh,
fun.
you only got 5. Well, I got 15. And so obviously I did more work than you did. But yeah,
A
I
little
think it could
friendly
be fun for the
competition.
right people in the right frame of mind. I think there are a lot of ways you could use it like that. Um, Perhaps even, going back to the summer program theme, if you had this teen group where you showed them this at the beginning and used this to help them keep track of the challenges that they're doing during the summer so that they can, I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be a
Again,
fun program.
it's finding the right audience for it.
Yeah, yes. And Annette says game nerds would love it, and
Yes,
she's not
you're right.
wrong.
And I've just never been a game nerd, so eh,
Well, I think it's fun. I think it's fun. And yeah, county librarian group, there'd be lots of ways, or if you wanted to groupify it a little bit. And I think it's kind of a fun way to keep track of some of those regular to-dos as
mm-hmm.
well. Like make prepping the board agenda a little more exciting if at the end you get 3 gold coins just for crossing it off your
Just
to-do list.
making a little bit more fun to check those things out. Carolyn, do you mind how easy, difficult it was for joining this party? Um, you know, was it easy to find a party that was relevant to what you were trying to do? If you have anything like that to add, that'd be great. I could
I don't see
now.
Carolyn's name on the participants list. I
Oh,
wonder if
maybe
she
she dropped out already.
got cut off.
Somewhere here, I was going to show my current board.
Do you do you get reminders from the app to say, "Hey, it's time for you to do your daily habit"?
Well, not exactly. Now, first thing
Okay.
in the morning when you connect, it pops up a little box to say, um, is there anything else that you did yesterday that you haven't checked off yet? Which is nice. So that, I mean, there was one night last week that I went to bed and I realized it was on the weekend, I hadn't been in it all day, and it's like, I'm going to snap off my streak. So I got out of bed and I got into it on my phone just so I could say I'd been into it.
And
So
you
it'll
said
be
you
that
weren't a
sort of thing.
game nerd. Look at you.
Well, no, just pressure. Anyway, so this is actually what my board looks like right now. My to-do, since I completed the events that I had for doing today as a project, disappeared. That's no longer available. My dailies and my habits, I set up both a positive and a negative habit as far as cleaning my aligners on my teeth and not eating snacks during the day, which kind of work together. And the watering the plants, my daily exercise stuff, I've set that off. I've already done my Pilates this morning, but I haven't done my cardio because I do that later in the day. So I'm acquiring more health here and experience. But yeah, this morning I checked off what I had done, and in the upper right, you start seeing this stuff show up, and it's like, oh, you're level 8 now. It's like, oh, good. I'd been wondering about that. And all these little more eggs, more this, more that.
So you have the dailies are things that are supposed to be done or not done every day, and then habits are just sort of ongoing. They're not
Yeah, habits
necessarily.
are ongoing things, again, things that you just need to do throughout the day or whatever. The dailies do not have to be actually daily, but they're things that you
Oh,
do on a regular basis.
okay.
So it could
So
be, yeah, like the exercise that's every day, or the watering the plants once a week, or
gotcha.
something you have to do every couple of days. You can set it to repeat whatever. It always shows up on there, but it
Because
only
I was
expects
gonna
you to do it
say I'm
whatever
I'm
schedule.
I'm not a plant person, and I did not know plants had to be watered every day, which might be why I'm not a plant person. But now I understand it's not actually daily, even though it's in
Right.
the daily list.
See,
Gotcha.
this is set up to repeat weekly.
Okay. So I did just get a plant, so I should water it once a week-ish, you think? That'd be
It
good?
depends on the plant. Some
Oh,
plants
no.
you should let them dry out first.
I
I've
need
got
those
cactus
plants in
that
my
I
life.
only water once a month.
Maybe I'm a cactus person. All right, so you were gonna say something else about some of the other tabs up there?
Okay, so sorry, it's hiding behind something else here now. This is where you can set up rewards. These are the things that I've earned just by doing things. That's what I mean, where something will pop up when you hover over it. But I didn't create it, my own custom reward for anything. And I was going to show you, these are the items that I have now. So there's a fox egg or a cactus egg, all these strange things. And then if you combine them with a potion, yeah, you drag it over something. Didn't grab it.
There you go. Oh,
And then you can hatch a new pet. So now I have a royal purple tiger cub from the tiger cub egg and the royal purple potion.
onward.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with this. I think I might need to habitify my life here, habitica my life. The other thing I like about this is that there's a web version and a mobile version. I feel
Yes.
like a lot of the things we see in Friday Tech Focus sort of have one or the other, but like you
Right.
can move back and forth on different devices here.
Yes. Although, you could always use it in a browser on a device if you want it, but there is both an Android and an iOS app so
Nice.
that you can do it that way. If you have something else, you'd have to use a browser, but
I Louise says worries about keeping track of virtual pets. When I was a tween, and got my first Tamagotchi, I cried the first time I forgot to feed it. Like we had gone to
Yeah.
a hotel and I was like in tears because my virtual penguin was gonna be sad, and my parents were like, "Yeah, you might
Yeah,
need to
and
kill it."
honestly, that was the first thing I thought of when it's like feeding pets. Oh my gosh, if I have to feed these things. Um, but so these down at the bottom, this is meat or food for
Yes.
pets, meat, potato, strawberry. There's all sorts of different things. So, rotten meat. Yeah, that was something I saw scroll by this morning. You've earned some rotten meat. It's like, okay, that doesn't really sound like a good thing, but I guess, depending on what your pet is, it might
Yeah.
be something that you would feed rotten meat, and that's okay. But
Maybe that purple tiger. We had a question in the chat about if you know anything about their data use policy, for example. So if you've said that you've got habits of watering plants and doing exercise, do they sell that
I have
information across the
not
web?
seen any ads in this whatsoever. If you see my screen here, there's no place for ads on here. I've not seen an increase in odd emails on the email account I used to create this saying, hey, we can help you water your plants on a regular schedule or anything like that. So, or what would be more likely, more things from Invisalign about, oh, you've got aligners. Let's advise you on that. So I
Your
don't think that
browser is
that's a
probably
problem.
full of those kinds of ads already anyway.
Well, yeah, but
But yes, that's good.
so that has been good.
Well, very good. We are coming to the top of the hour here. If anyone has any other thoughts, now's the time to drop those in the chat. Oh, yes, someone's going to take it to their 7-year-old. Apologies to all the families of the librarians here who are about to get their chore list gamified, but I think it
Well,
sounds like fun.
I think it could work with kids for the chore list stuff, giving them the ability to check things off in a fun way. And not just kids. Again, if this is the sort of thing that you enjoy, if you're a gamer or whatever, I think you could have a lot of fun with this. That just doesn't isn't me.
I think it'd be a fun way to do a summer reading challenge. I liked that idea. All right, or any reading challenge for that matter. But thank you to Eunice for exploring Habitica. I'm sorry it is your least favorite Friday Tech Focus to date, if keeping the account around is any indicator. But I think we had some fun here. I'm looking forward to giving it a try. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a great day, great
Bye bye.
weekend. Bye bye.